1975 out of Florida State University. Former Major League catcher Bruce Bochy. He logged an awful lot of time as a skipper. Let's take a look at his starting lineup. Brought to you by Blimpie. Boy, he's got a white-hot hitter right at the top in Aaron Rowan. Edgar Renteria, Randy Wynn, and Benji Bam Bam Molina back in there. Pablo Sandoval, Juan Uribe, Kevin Franzen, Andres Torres, and Barry Zito. Doug Davis on the mound, 33-year-old left-hander, born up near the Bay Area in Sacramento, California. Wheels and deals were underway at Chase. First pitch is low. 1-0 the count to the red-hot Aaron Rowan. First for Doug, 13th start of the year. Gracie, his ERA 3.36. So the count is 2-0. And for him, when you look at his career ERA, 4.29,
he's having a good year.
Yeah,
he's throwing the ball well. He's not got the wins to show for it. Nice play by Tim Flannery down there on the third base side. Wow. Chip Hale's got a little competition down there.
Well, Tim will bounce around, no doubt about that.
They used to call him Nails. I mean, made it look easy. Wow, that's a challenge to Chip Hale right there. I don't know.
Yeah, you can see Chip noticing the gauntlet's been laid down out of the gates. Pitch is high to Aaron Rowan.
You know Chip's going to have to try and make a play tonight. 3-1 on Rowan, though. Doug Davis loves to go to the cutter when he's behind. Let's see if he can get the ground ball.
The 3-1. Lost him, a leadoff walk. So Rowan will reach. He has been, we'll talk more about him, white hot, hitting him 18 of his last 19. Defensively, it's Burns, CY, and Upton. Roberts, Drew, Lopez, Mark Reynolds over at first, and Chris Snyder behind home plate. And Roberts against lefties has seen an awful lot of time at third, and Mark Reynolds a dozen times has started at first already. And overall, his defense has improved on both corners.
Doug Davis has a very good move.
Over the outside, 0-1 the count to Edgar Renteria. The last home run that Edgar Renteria hit was 137 at bats ago. It was April 24th. It was against one Mr. Doug Davis. Curveball stays high. And here it is.
It's a long ways to hit the ball the other way. That's one of 2 home runs this year for Edgar Renteria, the veteran. He's gotten a lot of big hits in his career, Darren. He's a guy that the bigger the situation, the better he hits.
Hitting 12 of his last 14. There's the move, and he fools the first baseman as well as he throws wild. But the question is, as we see the replay, Gracie, how wild did he throw?
It was very wild. I don't think Mark Reynolds had a chance on that one. You'll be able to see. Mark Reynolds really not fooled. There's just no chance of him getting that ball as Doug Davis threw very wildly. So he's been wild. A leadoff walk, and then one about 10 feet wide. So that'll go as an error on Doug Davis. Digging his own grave.
Let's see how he can handle Edgar Renteria now. Renteria hitting .306 with runners in scoring position. As you just said, like Benji Molina in the starting lineup, that average goes up. The more pressure that is on, you put runners in scoring position. He's been dependable his whole career. Hitting just .254, but those numbers speak volumes. And on the flip side for Doug, this is when he locks down, or at least has this year. 1-2 the count. Curveball skips away. Runner now at third.
Just tough way to start after a sloppy game last night. Aaron Rowan stands on third via 3 gifts: a leadoff walk, an error on Doug Davis, now a wild pitch that Chris Snyder will probably tell you he's got to come up with that one. But it'll go as a wild pitch.
So Doug back to work, 2-2 the count to Edgar Renteria. Now just takes a fly ball. And there is a fly ball. Tagging, heading to the plate. Throw. Pretty good one, but safe at the plate. Sliding in is Aaron Rowan. 1-0. A walk, an error, a wild pitch, and a sacrifice fly. 1 run on no hits for the Giants.
Just gift wrapped a run right there. A shallow fly ball. Chris Young came up, got rid of it quickly. On one hop, but Rowan in just ahead of the tag of Chris Snyder.
So now Randy Wynn. And for Wynn, it has been all about a multitude of success against the Diamondbacks and here at Chase Field. .322 in his career against Arizona. That continued last night. It's .352 at this ballpark. As that one is outside, 2-0 the count to Wynn. Switch hitter, batting right-handed. Two and one. Talk about the Giants and a team that is not putting up huge numbers offensively this year, but that's not the case here at Chase Field. Fouls that one off, and into the seats it goes. 2-2 the count, especially that man.
Sandoval, he's just decided he's not going to make any outs here at Chase Field, and he's going to hit homers. 2 of his 5 home runs are long home runs here at Chase Field.
Topper out to third. And the play not made out there by the Diamondbacks defense. And Ryan Roberts, Mark Reynolds, the duo. We'll take another look at that one.
Catcher number 1, Benji Molina.
I don't know who that arrow will go on. It'll probably go on Ryan Roberts. He waited back on the hop and had to hurry. Right off the top of Mark Reynolds' glove. He just didn't stretch high enough for it. That's probably one that Mark Reynolds is going to have to make the play on.
Doug tried to sneak in behind if there was any turn at all by Wynn. As that one, a line drive, and there are 2 outs. And Benji Molina, who's scuffling a bit, is erased.
So 2 errors in the inning.
First baseman number 48.
A walk and a sacrifice fly.
Barry Zito liking what he sees so far in support of his efforts that are about to be underway.
I was going to say, this kind of been a tough inning to watch.
Here is Pablo Sandoval. 1-0 the count to Sandoval. He is 10 for 17 at Chase Field this year. That's a .588 average. 3 extra base hits, 6 RBIs, 8 of his last 9. Bouncing ball, and it gets by Stephen Drew. Kind of a delayed dive at that baseball. And there is the first hit. So now he's 9 of his last 10 at Chase Field.
Well, as you said, a very delayed reaction. Almost no jump at all in that ball from Stephen Drew. That ball is maybe a couple of feet to his right, and it got by him. So the defense is on their heels. That's very evident. Ball's getting by the normally rangy Stephen Drew and 2 errors. Which begs the question, how are we looking?
So far, not so good for Arizona out of the gates. A real slow pace to start the game. And now Juan Uribe. Uribe proved yesterday, I loved how you said it. You throw me a fastball down the middle, I'll hurt it.
You throw me that first pitch, get me over fastball. Juan Uribe used to be a little small middle infielder. Boy, he's turned into a pretty big boy.
But he'll swing like that, won't he? He is not afraid at all. He's
always been a good player. Started with Colorado. Was a champion with the Chicago White Sox in 2005.
He did not go around Jerry Lane out there. There you see the career of Juan Uribe, 9 seasons. Recently placed into that starting lineup to stay, and since then he has been rewarding Bruce Bochy. 328, 6 doubles, a homer. He has hit in 14 of his 17 starts. And there to make the play that time is Roberts. The play made by the Diamondbacks defense. Certainly a forgettable inning for Arizona as they get ready to swing the bats. They trail it 1-0. Bottom of the first inning, San Francisco handed a 1-0 lead on top of the Arizona Diamondbacks. What can they do in grabbing it back? Let's take a look at the starting lineup, penciled in by A.J. Hinch, with Ryan Roberts batting second in the lineup this evening. Southwest Airlines sponsors it. Justin Upton, Stephen Drew, Mark Reynolds, Chris Young, Chris Snyder, Eric Burns bats 8, and Doug Davis batting 9. Barry Williams Zito, a 31-year-old left-hander, goes to work, an ERA of just below 4. He is 2-6 this season. And the first pitch is high, 1-0 the count to Felipe Lopez. Felipe fouls that one back. Rattles around over there. Zito last time out at Florida went 5 innings, gave up 1 run, had to throw an awful lot of pitches, threw 95 pitches, but he was a winner. Last 2 starts at Atlanta before that, 6 2/3, 3 earned runs. So starting to find it a bit. And I guess, Mark Grace, when you talk about Barry Zito, it's been kind of 3 years of trying to find it.
Yeah, ever since he put on a San Francisco uniform, it's been a real struggle for him. I think he's, because of his enormous contract, I think a lot of times you try to pitch more than you're capable of doing. That's a beautiful curveball.
That's the money pitch, isn't it?
Felipe Lopez, after missing his pitch and fouling it back, boy, he got a big dose of Zito's pitch, the big curveball right on the button. Strike 3.
And that is the pitch when he was busy winning a Cy Young Award that we saw an awful lot of.
Yeah, and like I said, when you have an enormous contract the way Barry Zito does, I think a lot of times you try to pitch out of your own body. Try to be too doggone good. Just be yourself, and I think he's slowly but surely starting to learn that.
Fastball at 87, and that misses away. 1-0 the count to Ryan Roberts. The velocity for Zito, his first year in San Francisco, did dip, as that one is fouled off. But it's starting to creep back up. It's not far off with regard to the radar readings where he was in Oakland. Now it's just, you spent 2 years trying to change your entire game, as you said, for a couple of reasons. Your newfound wealth, I guess, is one of them, and losing some of your stuff as that one is fouled back.
He must have a good fastball, because he's thrown here in his first 7 pitches, he's thrown 4 fastballs right down the middle. And all 4 of them have been fouled back.
1-2 the count to Ryan Roberts.
It usually leads to a curveball. No, it was a changeup. Roberts laid off of it.
I was speaking with his catcher, Benji Molina, before the game, and he was saying, I'd love to see more fastballs and fewer changeups, more curveballs back in the mix. And pitch in. As that one is fouled off. He hasn't believed enough in his fastball. Do you remember Zito, the Cy Young Zito?
Oh, he pitched in a lot because he could go to 90, 91, 92 miles an hour. Now he's more like an 85, 86 mile an hour guy. And, well, that pitch is just not as effective unless you hit your spot perfectly.
The 2-2. Breaking ball.
Just missed.
There's one of his old teammates in Oakland. Eric Burns, one of his teammates as well. 3-2, 1 out. Changeup.
And that just speaks volumes to what you were talking about with Benji Molina. There's a situation. You got Ryan Roberts, a part-time player, 3-2 count. You got Justin Upton on deck. And you mess around, you monkey around with a 3-2 changeup, you miss badly, and you give a free pass.
And with regard to the pitcher-catcher relationship, the catcher with a guy like Zito, he's making suggestions.
Yeah,
that's all you're doing.
Well, yeah, and the final decision is Barry Zito's or the pitcher's.
Curveball and a dandy. 0-1 the count to Upton.
But you're right. You're suggesting, but it's not. They're very educated suggestions with Benji Molina.
There's no doubt about that. That one runs in a slider. He'll occasionally throw that pitch to go along with the curveball. A little flatter, a little harder with regard to its velocity. Yeah, Molina, you make a very good point. We'll speak of him throughout the evening because the way he handles his business. We'll also talk about pitching in and the Giants' philosophy. You and I spoke of it last night. Benji's insights were great. 1-1 the count to Upton.
He's one of the more cerebral, not only catchers, but baseball players that you'll ever be around. He is certainly the backbone of this Giants ball club.
And it kills him that he's not hitting right now, because of that responsibility that he bears.
Pretty close pitch there. Didn't get the call from home plate umpire Todd Tishner.
After a curveball and a slider, that 87 looked pretty hard, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it surprised Justin, but it just missed.
Keep an eye at home how often he comes in. Now, he might not against Upton. That is an off-speed pitch there. That was rocketed foul, 2-2.
Just about a foot foul. But as you said, it was a missile.
What's that slider?
That was the slider you were talking about, yes. And Justin was not fooled a bit by this slider. He just yanked it just foul. Might get a slow curveball here.
Runner at first at 2-2.
Got a fastball again, missed.
Almost a crossfire there, like a sidearm look.
Dropped down almost 3/4 with that one. And a lot of times, when you do that, you don't finish your pitch and you miss up high.
So the count is full. We keep an eye on the base runner. Upton still a fairly high strikeout total despite all of his successes. Runner stays put. In on his hands. Inner half of the plate, to be fair, actually. Let's take a look at the defense for the Giants quickly. Torres and Rowan and Wynn in the outfield. Uribe, Renteria, Franzen, Sandoval infield. And Molina behind the plate. I'd like to see how close to in that pitch actually was.
I think it was mostly middle.
Yeah, that's as I called it, then I started to think Justin may have jammed himself a little bit. Here's Stephen Drew. Stephen, you talked about him coming on the air, but that pitch to Upton. Let's see where it is.
Let's take a look. Benji wants it in. Yeah, I think he got it in there. I think he got it in there. He got it. Got it to the inside corner.
That's the first time.
Mm-hmm.
He's coaxing him in there a little bit.
I mean, that pitch to Stephen Drew is right down the middle.
Yeah, you bet. Good stuff, by the way, that you educated us with on Stephen Drew coming on the air. 13-game hitting streak. Gracie said throwing the hips and hands a lot more. 19 hits during that time, 6 of them double. Facing a lefty.
There's a hanging slider right there. Stephen Drew very disappointed in himself. He wasn't last night with this one, though, Darren Sutton.
What's the pitch here?
That's a curveball, and that's a long ball. He didn't overswing, as we said in the open. Just popped his hips and just created all that bat speed, not with his arms and wrists or shoulders. That was all his midsection, the stomach, the hip flexors, the buttocks, if you will.
0-2 the count. Interesting a moment ago. Not that last foul ball, but the one just prior. Stephen pretty stoic, quiet most of the time. He had a little edge when he fouled this ball off his hanging slider.
That's his pitch. That's about as upset as you'll ever see Stephen Drew, but he knows he missed it.
I could hear him on the crowd mic, though, too.
Yeah, give him a doggone it.
That's exactly right. We didn't hear that when he first came off the disabled list. Roberts, Sandoval can't get it out of his glove.
Good stuff by Ryan Roberts. Put the pressure on the defense. A right-handed first baseman has to turn all the way, and he just tries to get too quick with it. And that'll go as a stolen base for Ryan Roberts.
At the pace that Sandoval would have worked and thrown that ball, I still think Roberts might have made it.
I think he would have gotten it. I think you're absolutely correct. It would have taken a rocket right on the money to get him. Let's see if Stephen Drew can tie the game with a lousy single.
Play him to pull on the infield. Outfield is straight, and Zito will spin around. They'll reset the signs. Benji Molina will with the runner at second. Drew 7 for 20 against Barry Zito. That's a left-hander. 350 career average. Bouncing ball, base hit, left field. Roberts racing on around. Torres is up with it. He fires it to the plate. Stephen Drew gets it done. A 2-out RBI.
How big is that stolen base now, Darren Sutton? Stephen Drew, the hitting streak continues, and great base running as well. Not only by Ryan Roberts, but Stephen Drew heading to second base on the throw. Watch him go right with the pitch, drive it the other way, and once it gets past a diving Edgar Renteria, Ryan Roberts, he'll come around to score, and Stephen Drew never stops, and into second he goes.
That key word, though, that you used upstairs at Futures Field as Reynolds fouls it off, and you just use it here now in the comforts of our booth. Driving it the other way.
Yeah, he's not just flipping it the other way, he's smoking it the other way.
It's a single,
by the way.
Letting the ball
travel. I'm sorry, Darren.
No, it's a single and an RBI, moved up on the throw.
Letting the ball travel, letting it get close to his body. Not trying to pull everything. There's plenty of base hits the other way as well. Ooh, what a beauty of a curveball that was.
taking advantage of a stolen base, and though the Diamondbacks aren't where they want to be as a team altogether, they are running the bases with a little bit more aggression this year, just based upon the numbers anyway. And this man, amazingly enough, in the batter's box, a big reason why. 12 stolen bases for Mark Reynolds.
Mark Reynolds is having a really good year. 269 with the batting average. That's about where you expect Mark. 15 long balls. A pretty respectable 37 RBIs now. Oh, he got a fastball there to hit and swung right through it.
Now they tried to come in again and left it out over the plate that time. Doug Davis picked up. Now the defense needs to pick it up. Stephen Drew. Top 3 power Chevy dealers in the Valley. Arrowhead, Brown & Brown, and Superstition Springs. And by Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. Hello?
That was me.
Kevin Franzen.
Just letting you know, Darren, he's over there.
Okay. I like that. Live television, live microphones, which for the two of us is a very scary thought. Each and every night that this is live. Doug Davis goes back to work, and this Diamondbacks club gets a bit of a second chance, if you will. If you missed the first inning, you didn't miss anything defensively, and let's hope that they can bring a little bit more fire after a nice inning offensively. Topper, and they're going to be challenged. Now that one trickles foul. Let's go ahead and bring in the power Chevy dealers and Brown & Brown Chevrolet key to the game. It has many phases to it. Defend. Now, when we were talking about it before the game, we certainly didn't think that the defend would apply to an error, a wild pitch, another error in the first inning. But it applies. Make your plays. Defend.
Yeah, we made this key way before the first inning.
And I'll tell you why.
During the production meeting.
That was early this afternoon when you were conferenced in during lunch.
Well, that was
1-2 the count. It's reached the point, Mark Grace,
yes,
where at some point you have to defend your home turf. When you are 12-20 at home, it's time to start defending your home stadium.
Well, you got to have a little pride in playing at home.
Well, that's defending your honor as well.
Right.
Bouncing ball. Felipe Lopez in time for the out.
Or making all the plays as well.
Either one.
Defending your position.
So that's the key to the game. How'd I do?
Left fielder number 59.
Well, I think it's very appropriate.
All right.
I think it's very appropriate. Defend your turf. Have a little pride in your home. You know, someone intrudes your home. What are you going to do? Defend it.
You bet you
With
are.
your life, probably, wouldn't you?
12-20.
Yeah, that's got to improve.
1-0 the count to Andres Torres. .217, a home run, and 4 RBIs for the part-time player. 5 starts now this year, is 3 for 12 in his previous 4. As that one runs in. He homered, if you folks remember, in late April against Scott Schoenweiss. He's gone 20 at bats since that home run. A decisive home run in San Francisco. The 2-0 pitch from Doug. Good cut fastball.
Yeah, that's where he wants that cut fastball, right on the belly button of the right-handed hitters.
This is the home run we were talking about in San Fran. That one out over the plate. Torres just threw his hands at the ball.
It's a long ways at night in San Francisco. Got the fastball thrown right by him, the cutter. Right around the letters. Doug gets a lot of swings at those, doesn't he, Darren?
Why is that? It just looks good?
I think it just looks good. And you think it's a slider, but it's actually a fastball. So you're thinking it's a hanging slider, you swing right through it.
So on 2-2, he's got options, and he goes again with a cutter that stays high. 3-2 the count. Now Doug throws, like Barry Zito, a big slow curveball. He doesn't throw, though, the slider to go with it that Zito does, but his cutter, when it's right, not far off from a slider.
Yeah, that's by far his money pitch.
3-2.
There it is. That time he didn't get the chase. Now another walk for Doug Davis.
And there's a walk in each inning now here in the second. Here is Barry Zito. 2 for 18 this year. 3 sacrifice bunts. And they'll set up to play the bunt defensively. Roberts creeping in, outfield very shallow. And takes that one with him, and it's a foul ball.
Takes it with him and took it right in the face. Came up and got him. That's a handsome, strapping mug there. You don't want to do that to yourself, Barry.
He'll try to not damage that face this time. 0-1. Giants are 11-5 in their last 16 games, so playing much better baseball. And that time he got it to Mark.
Still yanked it a bit, but there's the bunt. Boink. Wow. Stop it.
1-1 the count to Zito. Day baseball tomorrow. We'll have it for you. Jonathan Sanchez against Max Scherzer. Day game, Mark Grace.
Very happy about that.
Old-fashioned businessman special. Getaway day.
I know. You're spending some quality time by yourself lately. The family's back in the Midwest. Is that correct?
A little summer vacation, absolutely. That one is bunted. Fair ball, tag, and that's all they'll get.
Maybe a bit of a mistake there by Chris Snyder. He may have been able to come out and throw that ball to second before making the tag. Instead, he made the tag, and then he lost the force out at second. The good news is he got an out. Watch, it's fair. Now he jumps out. If he goes to second right there, I think he's got it. But once he makes the tag, he loses the out at second base. So a successful sacrifice.
And you go to second, you have a pitcher walking away.
Yeah.
Here is Aaron Rowan. We talked about Stephen Drew coming on the air and how hot he has been. Aaron Rowan is right there with him. As a matter of fact, he's in a bit of a longer run. Rowan had a hitting streak snapped a couple of nights ago and began to hit last night. He had a 17-gamer snapped. He's hitting 18 of his last 19.
He walked his first time up to lead off the game. Came around to score. He was beat by a cut fastball there. But anyway, I'm talking about your family's on a vacation, so Scott Snyder and I have gotten together, our fine stage manager. We decided after the game tomorrow, we're gonna take you out to dinner tomorrow.
You're buying.
Well, don't I always when we go out?
Absolutely. Looking forward to that. It's been a tough year for Scott. He'll enjoy getting out as well.
I think he needs a free meal. Might improve him a little bit. Good change up there from Doug Davis.
0-2 the count. So you're actually inviting me then? Yeah, all the times I haven't invited you.
Well, your mom made up for that when she invited me up to her barbecue this past Saturday. That wasn't.
You weren't invited. I made it very clear to you. The 0-2, but I've now determined as that one right back through the box. Felipe's got a shot. He sets, he fires, and he just saved a run. Next time you'll be invited back.
Yep. Enjoy your dinner by yourself tomorrow, man.
Maybe I can have dinner with. Chris Young to lead it off. 4 home runs, 14 RBIs, hitting just 179. As that breaking ball misses, 1-0 the count.
Jamil looked at his gloves. How did I miss that? Had he caught it, he might have got the strike.
As that one is away. Notice something different with his hands. You and I just noticed it together, quietly anyway.
Got his hands around shoulder high now instead of above his ears.
2-1 the count.
I'm sure he and Jack Howell have been working long, hard hours trying to get it back to, well, to Chris Young territory. And that is driving the ball.
We note another pitch in by Barry Zito.
3-1 now. Let's see if Chris Young gets something he likes. Oh, boy, he got a good pitch to hit there. Inexplicably tardy.
Theoretically, just in theory, not with Chris, as we see this again.
Well, that is just bell tie, middle away. He's just tardy on it, and he gets beat.
Good that one is high, and ball 4.
Well, when you just lay off the close pitches, especially Chris Young, if he can draw some walks, well, he really changes things when he gets on base with his speed.
Theoretically, Gracie, just in theory, why does a hitter maybe lower his hands a little bit like that?
When I got in trouble, especially with Chris Young, his trouble this year is popping the ball up and swinging and missing underneath everything. When I got in trouble like that, I even got my hands higher because it forced me to come down through the baseball and hit the top of the baseball rather than holding my hands low like an Eric Davis, for some of our older viewers, a Bobby Bonds, somebody like that held their hands low around their belly button.
Right.
Those guys were the fly ball hitters. You know, the big swing and miss and fly ball hitters, the guys that carried their hands low. High strike there on Chris Snyder.
Change up.
And Billy Williams, the Hall of Famer and a hitting coach of mine with the Chicago Cubs, he was the guy that got me on that when I was having a tough time of things. We'd work days on getting my hands high to the point of discomfort. Swing and a miss. High to the point of discomfort to force me down through the ball rather than dropping my shoulder or dropping my hands and having to uppercut.
We'll keep an eye on that. As I understand it, that tweak was made heading into San Diego just prior to. And he's certainly been walking more. There's no doubt about that. He's had a few extra hits. The walks have been there. Curveball. Oh, goodness gracious.
Chris Snyder, very fortunate. But a lot of times umpires even get fooled by the enormous breaking balls. I mean, that's a strike. Let's see if Chris Snyder can take advantage. But yeah, the conversation is still going on now between Benji Molina and Todd Tishner.
2-2 the count.
Yeah, it is.
Looked like he pulled a changeup with him there. Strike three.
Number 22, Eric Burns.
Exactly what it was.
Changeup just hangs. Chris Snyder knew it.
So after the young walk, Snyder strikes out. Here's Eric Burns. Underneath that one, 1-0 the count to his old teammate in Oakland. 212, 4 homers, 22 batted in. On base percentage of just .256. Usually in his career has hammered lefties to a much higher clip. This year only .200 against southpaws.
Nice pitch right to the inside corner, right on the belly button of Eric Burns.
In.
Yeah.
I mean, in for a strike.
He has to pitch in. He's got to pitch in for strikes. He's got to pitch in off the plate to keep these right-handers honest. The only hit tonight, Darren Sutton, for the Diamondbacks has been by a left-handed hitter, Stephen Drew.
1-1 the count. As they drive Young back to the bag. And again, that was in for a strike, but we were talking last night about Kane and Lincecum certainly. Jeremy Affeldt, when he came trotting in from the bullpen. These Giants pitchers pitch in. The 1-1. That's a change-up, looked like, right over the top of that one. 1-2 the count. And they'll pitch in for strikes, Gracie, like Zito did, and they'll pitch in to get you on your backside.
Absolutely. Make you move. Drop you.
Well, not as much as Zito. You said he has to do it. Molino wants to see more of it. But you can't just live away. And he's tried to come in a couple of times this game. Popped up. Don't forget, tonight's broadcast is on the AFN, the American Forces Network. Broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 177 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq and Germany and Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. We welcome, and more importantly, we thank you so much. We're indebted for your service.
And we love you. Thank you so much. Well, let's treat him. Treat him to some good stuff here. What do you say, Darren Sutton?
I'm all in. You know that. Burns was talking about the Barry Zito that was his old teammate that could buzz fastballs in right at the belt, just off the plate consistently. Said, I don't know if he lives in there that much anymore.
No. And I think you'd be right.
1-2 the count. Bouncing ball, diving attempt. It gets by Renteria. Looks like a changeup left out over the plate. Burns hits it right back through the box. Runners on first and second with one out.
Number 49.
Well, Burns stays back, keeps his hands back nicely. takes a hanging changeup and just rips it right back up the box past a diving Renteria. Doggone it. I'm sure Doug Davis going to be asked to bunt now. You want to bunt this ball right in this area, make the third baseman field it.
Instead, it's popped up. Molina easily just looks above himself and cradles it to bed. So a failed sacrifice there for Davis.
He just didn't bend his knees. It was just an all-arm bunt.
Two outs for Felipe Lopez. Struck out looking in the first inning. He's in the middle of a 7-game hitting streak, albeit somewhat humble one, something to build on. Curveball, that's what he struck him out on. It's strike one.
You just see it up there and you give up on it. You think it's going to stay high. And then it just goes right over the falls to the catcher's glove. Strike one on Lopez. Dropped down again and missed up, Darren.
He used to throw that curveball a couple of years back much more than he does now. Still throws it. The 1-1. Right over the top of that one. It was, wasn't it?
Good pitch, the slider.
And that pitch, usage of that pitch is way up for Zito. As we said, for the last couple of years, been consistently working on almost reinventing himself. The 1-2. In on the hands, fly ball left. Torres is there. He puts it to bed. A couple of runners on with one out. The D-backs come up empty. We're tied at 1 at Chase. It's a more impressive feat, folks. A perfect game in the major leagues or 300 wins. 744-99. Text A or B. You can lay claim to both. A or B.
For my money, it ain't even close. 300 wins.
And I think it's a great topic of discussion,
yeah.
But I'll be stunned if it's not 100-0.
I mean, perfect games are unbelievable, but only the best of the best won 300 games.
You have to be healthy, good, lucky, all those things combined for 2 decades at least. 1-1 the count, but I'm curious to see if you can keep it at 100-0, folks. And
I think it needs to be done.
If you have a different opinion, we'd love to see you vote there on the other side. Nope, 100-0. Outside, 2-1 the count to Edgar Renteria. We were talking about this earlier today. You could take a really talented AA arm and have all the stars aligned with a good, lively fastball, come up, throw a perfect game. You could take that same arm, as that one is on a backhand off the tip of the glove. Renteria reaches. Ranged as far as he could, just got the tip of that glove, so Edgar Renteria with a single. You could at least give the chances of some sort of a percent that pitcher could do that. And the other part of it is the discussion has been ongoing, Gracie. Who will be the next to win 300 games? Will it ever happen again, 300 games?
I think if it does, when it does, we've never heard of him yet. I just don't think anybody in the game right now is going to win 300. I really don't.
How about, do you think there will be another perfect game?
Oh. I think before I die, which I'm hoping will be a very long time, I think it will happen at least 5 more times.
Okay. 100-0.
At least 5 more times.
That one is low. 1-0 the count.
Who was the last perfect game? Do we know? Where's Kurt Zachar?
It was Randy.
Was it Randy Johnson was the last? Was the last perfect game? Really? Oh, that was, what, 2004? That's so in my lifetime, which if I live 25 more years, which would be, the rate I'm going, no chance.
Come on now. 25 more years, yeah, that's it. He'd be 85. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, see, that's not fun.
1-1 the count.
It is, but it's always at my expense.
Oh, I know I'll get mine.
Oh, see, Darren, a lot of people disagreeing with you vehemently. They're throwing things at the TV at you right now, those 33%.
There's a good pitch over the inside. 1-2 the count. Davis to win. 100-0. Well, just make it 99-1 then.
And those beer cans are flying at the set right now at you.
Remember the foam bricks they used to make that you could throw at the TV? The 1-2. Both teams with a run on 2 hits.
Still a beloved man out here as that one's chopped short.
Gotta hurry, Stephen Drew. He did, and he gets Randy Wynn. At the end of the 3rd inning, a video tribute, if you haven't heard, will be played to honor Randy Johnson and his contributions not only to this game, but to the Arizona Diamondbacks. We will not be going to commercial break. We'll be able to capture it for you and whatever fan reaction may follow.
Yeah, that big old banner would not be out there without number 51. A lot of terrific memories in all those years with Randy Johnson on the mound here at Chase Field.
Benji Molina in his career right around 300 with runners in scoring position. There's what he has done. It's his strong suit. And about the last half decade, it's over 300. He has stumbled and fallen a bit of late. Offensively. Trying to pull the baseball a little bit too much. He will tell you. He's the first to identify what he's struggling with. Hitting just 155 over his last 18 games. Did you ever get too pull happy, Mark Grace?
Yeah, it's so common. You start trying to pull everything, and you start cheating. The front hip stays, it starts flying open. You cheat, and when your front hip flies, that means your front shoulder flies. Everything flies open. If the pitch is away or if the pitch is off speed, you've just got nothing left. The only thing you can hit is a fastball in.
That one is away. Both of you guys, though, I'll lump you together, needed to be spraying the diamond. Needed to be going
Absolutely.
the other way, especially Benji.
When I was going good, it was when I was drawing walks. That means I was swinging the strikes and taking the balls, but also just going line to line. That's when I knew I was going well.
2-0 the count. Runner in scoring position. Swings right through it.
And you could see the front knee, everything was wide open for Benji on that one. And also when everything flies open, Darren, believe it or not, it slows your bat down. You can see everything just went to the left, and there was nothing left on that pitch away.
Three and one. Curveball there.
And by trying to stay away, Doug Davis has fallen behind 3-1.
And Pablo Sandoval waits on
Yeah,
back.
he doesn't make outs against the Diamondbacks.
Well, don't stretch it, Mark Grace. I mean, he did make an out within the last 10 at-bats. One. Benji bolts that one. He is 9 of his last 10.
So he has made an out. One in 3 games. Oh, Pablo. He's going to pull a hamstring to get up to the plate. He's dying to get up there.
And he goes up there to swing it. It can be a foot outside, a foot in. 3-2 the count. First Molina, though. And he drives it to right, as we were talking about. Upton going back to the warning track, to the wall. Benji Molina the other way and gone. Not pull happy that time. He put the approach on the baseball he wanted to, and it's 3-1 San Francisco.
That ball went a long ways. Doug Davis went down the middle with a fastball. Benji didn't try to pull it. Boy, that ball is just kissed the other way. See how everything stayed closed and right back through the middle of the diamond. Boy, what a difference. Way out of here.
I would imagine for that man a giant bit of relief. Pablo Sandoval. 0-1 the count.
He doesn't get cheated, does he?
Pieces himself back together in the box after he just came unraveled. 0-1. Look at that.
Gas upstairs and right by him. Bring it down. Bring it down. Bring it down. This one went really far from the left side. That made some gal really happy.
The 0-2. He is. We talk about the dance that he does as he steps to the front of the box and gets comfortable in it before he starts his at-bat. He's dancing all over the box, back foot and front foot moving as he swings.
Yeah, it's not anything you would teach, but it works for him. That's his way. So far, it's a pretty good way. Swings at everything.
Firestone leaderboard. You can see the Giants, the fewest home runs in the big leagues. Diamondbacks.
Not against the Diamondbacks.
They might beg to differ.
They banged out 17 hits here last night. They had the lowest batting average coming in, but not here. Another foul ball back this way.
Let's see those feet. Now, this is a high fastball, so not as much dancing going on here, Gracie. A little bit.
There's a lot going on. He's not what you call a quiet hitter. But like I said, it works for him. He's hitting 320, so he's doing something right. That's fouled back.
Snyder didn't see it for the longest time. You know who he is. He is Kung Fu Panda.
He's got a little Kung Fu Panda in him. I liked that movie.
That's one of the nicknames that his teammates have given him.
Kung Fu Panda. Well, he's a big old bear-looking rascal.
Feet moving, kicking, stomping. 0-2 the count. Benji holding court after that home run to right center field. One and two the count. Is that the first pitch he didn't swing at, huh?
That was the first
Ball
pitch
one.
he didn't swing at, and it's only because it didn't get to the home plate dirt. So he was able to lay off that.
He was able to lay off the 1-2.
He swung at that one. Did he foul tip that?
Yes, he did.
Now that's doing it. When you can foul tip that, then you're officially a contact hitter. That ball bounced right out in front of the plate. I mean, a good foot in front of the plate, and he still got a hunk of it to hang tough. This is about the time that somebody hits a home run. Let's see if he can. Oh, he took it.
He's not long and hard about taking it.
I mean, that ball landed right there.
The 2-2 pitch to Sandoval. Boy, he took a pitch, could have been strike three, in just a touch. Managed to fool him somehow, Gracie.
Yeah, this is an entertaining at bat. Yeah, it was in.
10 pitches.
Kung Fu Panda. He walked. That's hard to do.
Mark McClone standing by. Mark, what do you have for us?
Well, first of all, A.J. Hinch said today that the one pitch that they were going to try to throw Sandoval, the one that they hadn't seen him hit was the fastball right down the middle, but he showed there good eye and that he can make contact with pretty much everything. Got a couple injury updates. Connor Jackson still battling that valley fever and the pneumonia. A.J. Hinch was asked today, will he miss the entire season? He said no, but it's going to be a while. Tony Clark, meanwhile, has gone down to Reno on a rehab assignment. He's going to try to get some consistent at-bats, and he could be back with the club if he starts to put it together from both sides of the plate. Next road trip is a DH in Kansas City or Seattle. Also, Brandon Webb is going to throw a bullpen soon. Still no target date for his return, but the soreness is gone. Bruce Bochy was asked today how much Webb affected the Diamondbacks this season, Webb being out, and he said that it certainly has had a trickle-down effect with the entire club.
Yeah, no doubt, guys like Billy Buckner being asked and Yusmail Petit. Thank you, Mark. 2-0 the count to Juan Uribe. As a fan of this team, and certainly you are in this job a little bit, two words I'm tired of hearing: flat ground.
Yeah. He's been throwing off a flat ground, well, since March.
You and I said that earlier. They were talking about a flat ground. He's got to be sick. Brandon's got to be sick about hearing the words flat ground.
Flat ground.
I know the ground's flat. Put me on a bump.
Yeah. Last time I checked, that's where you have to pitch.
The walk at first base, Mark Grace.
Yes.
A patient at bat by a guy who swings a lot. His teammates call him Kung Fu Panda. That is for you, my friend.
I like it.
There's a little bit right there. Don't you see it?
Like I said, he's a big, jolly-looking bear. Tough guy. Give you a roundhouse if you're not careful. Kung Fu Panda.
That pitch is in. On the corner. 2-1 the count. Uribe, his own unique stance as he fires it back. 3-1 the score. This inning dragging a bit. Now we've had plenty of time to get all our fun stuff in, but
yeah, we're already in the top of the third.
Uribe wails and fouls it off. Two and two the count to Juan Uribe. To right field, that one goes. All right, don't forget, join the D-backs and the Arizona Milk Producers for a post-game concert. This would be great for you, Grace. You love Lifehouse.
Milk Producers?
No. Lifehouse post-game concert following this Saturday's D-backs and Astros game. The concert's free with a ticket. 602-514-8400. Gracie and I will see you then. Lifehouse in concert after the ball game.
What day is it again?
That's Saturday night. D-backs and Astros. Miguel Tejada coming to town.
No, I won't be here. Nah, I'm going to miss it.
Oh, there it is. Kung Fu Panda. Another announcement that I make that's just a kick to the face of Mark Grace. 2-2. Got him with a changeup. Found a way to neutralize one of these two overly aggressive hitters. Got Uribe.
That was just a change up down in the dirt, and that time Uribe right over the top of it. That was a good pitch because it got a very good result.
Here you see the pitch count. Very high.
71 pitches in the third inning. Oh, Doug.
That is a field trip to the tar pits.
Oh, I love it when you go tar pits. Yeah, it's just been a struggle really from the very first batter for Doug. He walked the first batter. Then there was an error on himself. And that walk and error led to a run. A 2-run homer here. But just Doug hadn't been crisp tonight. He's really been sluggish. A lot of 3-ball counts.
The 1-1. Yeah, when you take a hitter like Pablo Sandoval and walk him,
yeah,
you don't want to discredit the at-bat. It was a very good at-bat. He just doesn't like to walk.
Probably find himself.
He has 195 at-bats this year, 9 walks.
Really? I'll bet you a handful of those have been intentional.
That's funny you would say that. 3 of them have. He has walked 6 times, not intentionally. Those shoes are for running, not walking. The 1-2. Lined off the end of the batter. Dies out there in left field. Sandoval moves up. So Franzen with a base hit.
Left fielder Andres Torres.
Just poked it out there in the left field.
Yeah, it's just a good piece of hitting there. The sluggish top of the third continues.
So now Torres. One and 0 the count as that one misses wide. To get his team back in the dugout. Zito waiting. That one's belted center field. Young on the move. Going back, looking up. Can't make the play. Off his glove. Racing on around. 2 more runs score. The San Francisco Giants tack on. 5-1.
I don't know what happened there. Chris Young just flat out whiffed it. Fastball right down the middle. Torres nails it. Now Chris Young looks like he's got a beat and just flat out whiffed it. Ugly game.
That one is fouled back to the screen. He got there, started heading towards the wall, then took a spin, almost a half turn angle, and had gone past the ball. Went to reach back. That's a ball he'll tell you he's got a catch. Should have caught. Curveball is in. The 1-1 pitch. 2-1 the count. That one misses low. 81 pitches. 5-1 the score. .43 pitches this inning as this one comes home. Got the corner, 2-2 the count. Doug came in going 6 or more innings in 9 of his 12 starts. Quality in 8 of his 12 starts. An ERA of 3.36. Last outing, 6 shutout innings against San Diego at San Diego. Bouncing ball, and Mark Reynolds to the bag. 4 more runs for the Giants. They lead it by a score of 5-1. A play unable to be made by the center fielder, and the catcher finding his groove again.
Playing in because it's a little time, you know.
Taking on Diamondbacks third baseman Ryan Roberts.
5-1 the score. Chris Young racing to the wall. Once he got there, though, kind of a half turn and unable to make the play. Frustration certainly shown there. And his veteran teammate talking with him. They ruled that an error on Chris Young, by the way.
Kind of a tough error. He was playing shallow, and that's a long way to go back 400 feet. That's a tough error to deal with if you're Chris Young, and I can see right now he's not dealing with it very well. That's an error, huh? We'll agree to disagree with the Mr. Official score.
I always lean on you, having played down there as long as you did and seen teammates and understanding the difficulties. There's a difference in saying he'd tell you he should have made the play, or he'd tell you he could have made the play and then calling it an error. 1-2 the count on Roberts. Like a high off speed pitch, and Roberts just waves right through it.
It's going to be interesting to note here, Darren Sutton. Last night, A.J. Hinch even mentioned it in his post-game press conference that the Diamondbacks just kind of went away last night after they fell behind.
Played out the game, he said.
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out the managerial skills here of A.J. Hinch, because you hope that doesn't happen in back-to-back games. So let's see if these guys can dig deep, get themselves out of this thing, and be the professionals that they are.
2-0 the count. In his career, Barry Zito against Arizona in 10 starts, 2-6, an ERA of 4.37. They got him 2 starts ago for 6 runs in an outing. He gave up 2 runs in an outing 2 starts ago, or his last outing, I should say. .30, 3-1 the count to Justin Upton. Upton fly to center field is 3 for 12 in his career against Zito with a long ball. I think it's a very good point, Mark Grayson. It's worth watching. You certainly hope that's not the case. That's ball 4. Jack in the Box invites you to think outside of the box. I'm talking about Stephen Drew in the first inning, Mark Grace. You educated us about the hips and the hands in our open. I guess it comes into play even on a ground ball the other way, a hard one.
By letting the ball get deep. Look how far back in the stance that ball travels before Stephen Drew makes contact with it. That was a great shot. That ball was almost even with his body back in this area when he made contact with it. That's called letting the ball travel, and that's how you go the other way with it.
0-1 the count to Drew.
Watch where the ball is when contact is made. I mean, that's still not there. It's almost right there. That is beautiful. I mean, that reminds you a lot of Andrew Jones.
Well, no, not the one with the Dodgers. I think somewhere along the way your Jeep went off the path on that one.
No, Andrew didn't let it travel like that.
He may be a little bit more this year. 1-1 the count. Never seen anything like that last year. As Steven gives that one a ride. Not like he broke his bat into center field, and he makes the play out there. Rowan does for the out. That begs the question: if you are in a position where you, more often than not, obviously that time you'd love to have that at bat over, are letting the ball travel, are you more dangerous with 2 strikes then?
Oh, without question. Absolutely. When you can use the whole field, we saw, for instance, Benji Molina let the ball travel, let it get deep, hit it even with his body, hit a ball out in the pool area. So yes, you become more dangerous. You become more difficult to defend because you can't put the, if you're just a pull hitter, you can get the defense to shift and move into the areas where you normally hit the ball. But if you're a line-to-line guy, let it travel sometimes, get out in front of it and pull the ball, you're much more difficult to defend. They can't stack the defense against you. So that does make you certainly more dangerous.
0-1 the count. Good changeup to start him off. Throws him another one away. And the count 1-1 to Mark Reynolds. Again, we will stay here at the end of this half inning. As a tribute is shown here at Chase Field for 300-game winner and former Diamondback Randy Johnson. With another off-speed pitch, he did not go around. 2-1 the count. Roberts struck out on an off-speed pitch. Upton walked. Drew flied out to shallow center. Will he see a fastball? Not yet.
Not yet. Missed again with a changeup, 3-1. I think also Barry Zito knows that Chris Young is on deck. Chris Young came into this game hitting 179. Mark Reynolds a much hotter hitter. Oh, he got a fastball down the middle and popped it up.
Staying with it and making the plays, Randy Wynn. He'd love another shot at that pitch. 5-1 the score. Here at Chase Field, tribute being paid towards Randy. Dugout. The memories were shown on the scoreboard. Crowd rose out of their seats, stood out of his seat for a moment, a tip of the cap, and acknowledged the crowd, and settled right back in. 5-1 the score.
Randy very moved by that.
And some of the sentiments of the crowd attending. 24th pitcher to reach 300 wins. As that one is in to Aaron Rowan. And of course the second oldest, Phil Niekro, being right behind him. The 1-0. Ian on the hands, popped up. Roberts gone. It's over his head into left field for a base hit. The resume that Randy will send to Cooperstown. Now, actually, he doesn't even need to send this resume to Cooperstown. He'll be just fine.
He doesn't need any introduction to Cooperstown. But there it is. Remember the half a season that C.C. Sabathia had with the Milwaukee Brewers last year?
Oh, I certainly do.
That was a pretty typical season here for Randy Johnson.
You see, as that one is bunted and popped up. I watched it from afar. I was a broadcaster at that point for other teams at that point. You were right there and saw it.
I faced it, and then I played behind it. Every player should be fortunate enough to play behind a guy that great. I was that fortunate.
0-1 the count. That pitch is low, 1-1. And hitting against him? I mean, when he was
no fun,
really right, really
fun.
healthy, strong.
I mean, it was a challenge, but it was a challenge that was rarely met.
Curveball is high, 2-1 the count. Five to 1 the score. And for Edgar Renteria, he singled and scored back in the third. Had a sac fly and an RBI. Pulls that one. That one is foul off the bat of Edgar Renteria. I guess the question that you start asking yourselves as you play into June, and these San Francisco Giants are 3 games over. Baseball fans, would you consider them a team that could vie or fight at all for the wild card when it's all said and done?
I think with their pitching staff, absolutely. If they have any semblance of hitting like they do against the Diamondbacks, I think they're absolutely contenders. You run Lincecum, Kane. Tonight it's Zito throwing the ball better. Doggone right.
Well, if those guys are right, they'll have to hit. They'll have to hit enough. Guys like Benji can't struggle. But they managed to play through Benji's struggles and win.
Yeah, they haven't hit the ball at all this year, and they're 3 games over 500. That's how good the staff is. They've got a quality closer in Brian Wilson. Very good bullpen.
SFN AT ARI pitch every day.
And pitch well every day.
It's a worthwhile discussion at this point now. Giants fans like hearing that. You're in a pitcher's ballpark. Pitching will beat pitching in a pitcher's ballpark.
Huh?
Your pitching will beat average pitching in your ballpark.
Okay.
The 3-2. Line drive to the gap in right center field. That one is down for a base hit. Runners on first and third. Edgar Renteria, a couple of hits. And a sacrifice fly.
Right fielder Randy Wynn.
Well, the runner was on the move, and he's trying to shoot the hole. He didn't shoot the hole. He went right over the top of it.
That was a rocket. All of a sudden, Doug Davis in danger of not making it through this top of the 4th. Bullpen already going. Doug Davis has thrown 93 pitches in 3+ innings. 93.
Randy Wynn rockets that one foul. Esmeralda Vasquez warms, and this certainly a departure for Doug in his last 3 outings. Opponents have hit just .211 against him. His ERA was 1.77. Snyder puts his nose on that one. Yeah, the Giants in their home ballpark, where their pitching plays, are 18-9 at home.
That's more like a home record. That's protecting your turf. Defend, as you say.
The 1-1. Slaps that one right to Mark Reynolds. Steps on the bag. Double play. That's a hitter that's punished, actually, with the end result for letting that ball travel, but he smoked it.
And Doug Davis very fortunate there to get 2 quick outs off the bat of Randy Wynn. Now Benji Molina, who hit a 2-run homer his last time up, going to get an opportunity again here with a runner on third. Well, if Doug Davis could find a way to squirm out of this. Trying to keep his team in the ball game. You're still in Grand Slam territory.
Oh, 0-1 the count. Boy, twice he's opened up early, tried to pull pitches in the dirt. Our Chaz Roberts cool play. When you're struggling and you do that, well, that's pretty cool for the Giants and Benji Molina. And he tried to take a swim. Is that considered a splash hit?
Well, if you're A-Rod, it is.
We talked about that, folks, earlier this year. We did a show from out in the pool and talking about Alex Rodriguez's home run into the pool early on. Never got in the pool.
Still hadn't gone in the pool.
The 0-2.
That's a two-stroke penalty in golf, the double hit. But in baseball, we get another chance.
Taking a look at our Quest high-speed pitch, brought to you by Quest High-Speed Internet. Neither one of these guys, as we've told you throughout the evening, and they don't even take offense when you mention this stuff.
No.
They know who they are.
Nor should they.
The 0-2. That one into left center field. Young over and is there to make the play for the out. Well, he managed to do it. Get out of a bit of a mess. Take a step in the right direction. Let's see if the Diamondbacks can swing it. Five to 1 the score. Arizona trying to come up money here offensively. Speaking of cash, if a D-back homer hits the Gila River Casinos hit and win sign in the 4th inning, one lucky fan. Look at that. We have both signs. Mitch Riggins bringing them both in. Wins $320,000. Mitch is trying. The jackpot grows by $10,000 every time the prize goes unclaimed. Michael Zaplin is our contestant. Michael playing for $320,000. That would help, Mark Grace.
It would help a lot.
To win $320. We're talking about
a lot of glue.
That's pretty close to a strike, isn't it? Or is
I
that
think
in?
that was clearly inside.
Really?
The height was fine, but I think it was about 6 inches inside. That's a strike. Hanging changeup.
Pitch before, though?
A good 9-10 inches inside.
1-2 the count. That one dives low, 2-2. We were mentioning in the last at-bat how Young has those hands further away from his body and lower now. Started just prior to going to San Diego. Boy, that's a strike.
Good pitch.
Soft, 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 bang, hard, and he got it. I'm told you will love this Aflac trivia question.
You think I will, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just told by the very same Mitch Riggins, the director of our show. This is his question. Name the 5 pitchers who won their 300th game in the 1980s.
I like that. I think I can get a couple of them.
All right.
I think your father would be one of them, wouldn't it?
1986.
The great Don Sutton. I'm going to say Mr. Phil Niekro. Phil Niekro.
That one is
he
low.
He was with the Yankees. He won in Toronto.
That's exactly
the
right.
Knuckleballer.
How about Gaylord Perry?
I wouldn't have gotten Gaylord. Very good.
Chris Snyder. A long run, but a Gold Glover's out there, and he makes the play, and there are 2 away. Steve Carlton.
That would have been a good guess. And then my last guess is going to be Tom Seaver.
Left fielder Eric Burns.
Thanks for playing, folks.
And recently we've had Greg Maddux. We've had Tom Glavine. We've had Randy Johnson. I'm trying to think of some others that have been recent. Have there been?
Roger Clemens.
Roger Clemens. Forgot about Roger Clemens.
The one that falls in the middle, and some of you at home might have guessed this, some of the guys in the truck were saying, Nolan Ryan, 1990.
It was 1990 he got 300, huh? Yeah, I wasn't going to guess Nolan.
Well, we knew you would.
I knew that year that was going to come into play there.
Oh, certainly wasn't intimating that you would have guessed that. Just other humans out there. 1-1 the count to Eric. That's a good question, though. I like that question.
Very good question.
Oh, Mitch. The 1-1. Swings right through it. 1-2 the count.
Boy, everything collapsed there on Eric Burns. Trying to hit a long ball.
I, of course, was giggling at Mitch in my ear talking about that question. It's not Eric swinging and missing. The 1-2. And he turns, looks into the catcher's mitt. There it goes. 5 in a row sat down by Zito. 1, 2, 3. Go the Diamondbacks. Back with us at Chase Field, Mark Grace, Mark McClune, Darren Sutton, and you. Hope you're having a good night tonight. Name the 5 pitchers who won their 300th game in the 1980s. We're proud to bring it to you. And to get it right, of course, neither one of us tripped up here with the inevitable Nolan Ryan guess that many of you made.
He was a year late, and we knew that.
Esperling Vasquez goes to work. Gerardo Parra is in the outfield. Vasquez in the 8-hole. Parra is in the 9-hole. And Pablo Sandoval managed to walk in the 3rd inning. 10-pitch at bat. Takes another pitch. He's feeling his oats, taking pitches now all the time.
What is going on, Pablo? Gerardo Parra is taking over in left field for Eric Burns.
I have a little number for you, Mark Grace. And it speaks to how he rolled into the big leagues last year. Fly ball, center field. Young is there. Pablo Sandoval last year in 41 Major League games hit .345. Incredible that he started the year in A ball. League average swinging at pitches out of the strike zone, Mark Grace, 25%.
Okay.
He swung at 53% of the pitches that were out of the strike zone last year.
Well, there you have it. That's how you get him out. Throw him a strike. That ball's right down the middle. Popped it up.
Is that incredible? 53% of the pitches that were not strikes he swung at.
Well, last night, the ball he hit a mile, that would have been called a ball. It was up and in, slightly up, slightly in. It would have been called a ball, no question about it. He hit it 500 feet. So he's just kind of that guy.
It's so much fun to cover him.
Yeah, I love watching him hit. Then he got a change up right down the middle there and hit a little lazy fly ball to center. So there you have it. Scouting report. I'm going to tell AJ after the game tonight, throw him strikes.
That pitch is high.
What do you think?
I think this will back you up. Last night, this is the pitch you're talking about.
I mean, that pitch is up and in. That's going to be called a ball. He hit it 500 feet. Kung Fu Panda.
3-1 the count.
You know what? I'm a fan.
How can you not
I am
be?
a fan. I'm officially a fan of this kid.
And he's another guy that that was a hot shot down the line it goes. Uribe races on around. He's another guy. As Uribe, his first hit, he is 1 for 3 after homering last night. Who, you know, we always tell the story about Jake Peavy, how he storms through the clubhouse and has his presence, and it's my day as we see the double again. Well, that same kind of joy and tap dancing around the box that you see on the field for Sandoval, well, he's that same guy in the locker room. Keeps everyone loose and light. When it's time for him to go to work, his business is hitting.
It's all business.
It's hitting, too. And that is his business. What an improbable year. I mean, he starts the year last year.
In A-ball.
Right, you're dressing at the end of spring in minor league camp.
Oh, yeah. You're
Hundreds of minor leaguers.
You're not even a blip on the radar screen as far as big leaguers are concerned.
And by the end of the year, you're hitting .345 in 41 games.
In the major leagues. Dave Righetti over there talking to him. Hey, what are they doing throwing you strikes?
Topper, and it's a foul ball. 0-2 the count.
Maybe Dave Righetti can teach him how to handle strikes. I'm a fan. It's official. I like him. Pablo Sandoval.
Out of Carabobo in Venezuela. Young Venezuela. Signed with the Giants in 2002 as a free agent. Late swing and a slider. Franzen goes down on strikes. Hey, don't forget, by the way, fireworks tomorrow night after the ball game. He's put some fireworks on. Friday night, I should say, not tomorrow night. D-backs and Astros. Purchase a ticket for Friday's game. Stick around for the fireworks show after, courtesy of Gila River Casino, 602-514-8400. Sandoval was quoted about his early days, 5, 6 years old, playing coach pitch down in Venezuela. He said, "This is no big surprise." Has 1-0 the count on Torres. I only like to hit. I didn't like to play defense. I just went to the games to hit. Then I went and sat next to my mom. That one is in.
Well,
that was it. The coach told me to play defense, and I said, I like to hit.
Didn't play any defense, huh?
Got his, probably in coach pitch, 8 hits, and then went and sat by his mom.
Mom, got any more peanut butter sandwiches? Yeah, but son, you need to go play first base. Nope, not going to. Got a banana with that peanut butter that we can, peanut butter and banana sandwich maybe? But son, you got a good arm. They need you to pitch. Nope, not going to. Give me those Twizzlers.
Oh, that's great. 2-1 the count. 2 outs. Back to the screen it goes. 2-2. Actually sounds pretty good. Peanut butter sandwich, banana, and some Twizzlers. Right now, you just summed up a nice snack.
I love peanut butter and banana.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy. That's big league. I'm hungry.
You like the peppers?
Oh, yeah. The hotter the better.
The 2-2. Over the top of an off-speed pitch. Favorite ballpark food is?
Oh, not including Chase Field. I like the food here.
Food's great here, anywhere.
Colorado.
And what do you like to order there?
Well, I like to order about anything they have, but but they've got very good hot dogs. Just good food, period. You can go off the board there. You can get good barbecue there. You can get some good stuff.
You know the best ballpark food?
What about for you?
Well, I'm looking forward to you coming in and partaking as a broadcaster. Seattle.
They've got really good food. Great coffee up there for the day games.
Over the top of that one.
I'm not going to be in Seattle, man.
Vasquez gets the big strikeout. Oh, that's why I mentioned it. All you can eat for the network. Back of the ballpark, 5-1 the score. Time to crank things up offensively. Anytime the D-back scores 6 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations. Five runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the Giants. A run on 2 hits and 3 errors for the Diamondbacks. And Barry Zito, the 31-year-old left-hander, goes back to work and does so with strike 1. .289, a homer and 17 RBIs, and chops that slow bender foul. Parra does. He, like Pablo Sandoval, the pride of Venezuela. Kind of hanging there against the lefty. To left field, sending back Andres Torres. And he is there to make the play for the out. Let's head up high. Well, not at the Futures Field where Gracie and I went. Let's head up high to the roof. Our good friends and partners with APS take you up top the APS rooftop solar cam, reminding you to install solar panels on top of your roof if you are able. Join Mark Grace in his efforts to go green. You were already green of envy of Gracie.
I'm going green.
Shouldn't we all at least try what we can do?
Right. Be nice to Mother Earth.
1-0 the count. 2-0 to Felipe Lopez. Pitch is high, 3-0. Hey, day 2 of the Major League Baseball amateur draft continues for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Certain that those of you that enjoy following it closely have enjoyed Tom Allison joining us here. Our behind-the-scenes look yesterday. But a couple of players near and dear to our hearts were, well, they had their numbers, if you will call it, as Lopez drives that one into right center field on the backhand. And the play is made. So a single for Lopez. We will show you some notable Arizonans that were picked in the draft and congratulate all of the local folks that had their opportunity. A hotbed for baseball. Gracie, there's a couple of extra I think we should mention. How about center fielder Chris Davis in the 7th round by the Brewers out of Cal State Fullerton, the son of scout and good friend of this show, Rodney Davis. Congratulations.
Congrats, very much so. Out of Cal State Fullerton. They play a good brand of baseball at Cal State Fullerton. And also, a guy near and dear to us. We've been around his father a lot, but I've also been around this guy, Jake Williams, son of our own Matt Williams.
Oh, that's great.
Local here, Brophy Prep. He was drafted in the 29th round by the Diamondbacks. He's signed so far with the University of San Diego. So, either way, congratulations to Jake Williams, 29th round. So, Jake, if you're listening, I edged you out. I went the 24th round.
That's awesome.
But this kid's got more talent than I ever had. And good luck to you, kid. You know how much I love you. Now, your dad, on the other hand, not so much.
Done with him?
Yeah, pretty much done with Matty yet. Where has Matty been? Haven't seen Matty in a long time.
Around the world? I think so. Around the world in 80 days. Traveling. All around the world. That one is belted deep left center field. Torres on the run, picking up off the wall. Lopez to third he goes. Runners on second and third. Smoked that ball deep, unable to drive in Felipe Lopez.
Right off the middle of the wall. Remember that first National League tater, just a fastball up. Ryan Roberts puts a charge into it to left center field. It's played very well out there by Torres off the center of the wall. And now Justin Upton with an opportunity to get his team back in the ball game. It's a nice job of getting it back in cleanly by Torres and keeping Felipe Lopez at third base.
All right, time to cash in, make a ball game out of it.
Boy, what a curve ball to jump ahead of Justin Upton. Yeah, you need to play at least one of these and get yourself back in the game. But it's absolutely imperative that you get at least one here, Darren.
Watch out. That one is hammered foul. I'm told Matt Williams, by the way, just checked in. He is watching on MLB.TV. He is in Spokane with son Jake for some summer ball action.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, congratulations.
Thought he wasn't watching. I'm all back in with him. Glad to know he's watching.
Good. We miss you, Matty.
To the right side. Base hit and an RBI for Upton. Runners are on first and third. These Diamondbacks with a little bit of want-to in them and some fight back in this ball game. Now make it 5-2. They've got a ways to go. This is a step in the right direction. For Upton, RBI number 35 on the year.
We're going to have a meeting on the mound. Dave Righetti going to come out as Lopez trots back to the dugout. He got it all started with a one-out base hit. Ryan Roberts a double, and now Justin Upton just fights off an inside fastball, keeps his hands in nicely. And he is just so doggone strong. He just fights it off and still rips it into right field.
So now, Stephen Drew.
Stephen Drew.
about a dance mix.
That got me a little jacked. Now I'm tired.
He singled in a run back in the first. Fly to center field. He's 8 for 22 in his career against Barry Zito.
Good fastball to the outside corner to get ahead of Stephen Drew. Justin Upton picked on an 0-2 pitch, Darren. Fought it off to right field for the RBI single. Let's see if Stephen Drew can do more of the same. Just keep the line moving. You don't need a home run. You just want to keep the line moving. Keep the pitcher in the stretch. Give him something to think about out there other than the batter.
See that 73% of the time. Worst case scenario, you drive in 1 here.
73% is pretty good here, Darren.
Nice take. That's the other thing when you're rolling that, and Gracie taught us this for years. When you're rolling, you're taking the close pitches more often than not.
That means you're tracking the ball, you're letting it travel, and you're being more patient. See, in this situation, all the pressure's on Barry Zito, Darren. He's the one that has to throw you strikes. And if he doesn't, you take them.
That one is smoked the other way. It goes all the way to the wall. 1 run is in. Justin Upton comes on around. Not flipping the baseball the other way. Instead, to quote the Color analyst, driving, mauling it. 5-4.
It's just so pretty when Stephen Drew gets it going like this. Lets the ball travel. Look how level the bat is right there and just mauls it into left field again. Bang! Look how far he lets that ball travel in on his body and just rips it into left center field. Once it gets past, there is no doubt Justin Upton's going to score. Look at him flying around the bags. That would have been fun to do.
Pickoff play, thrown into the dirt. Ranson trying to sneak in there. The speed of Upton on display. This is what we were watching closely to see. The fight back of this team.
Absolutely. A.J. Hinch, a heck of a job keeping his boys focused, keeping his boys with the will to win. That ball stays inside. Now Mark Reynolds, the go-ahead run at the plate. Tying run at second base, still only 1 out.
A philosophy of 1 at a time. That's what they try to execute. They have 3 in this inning. But again, it's single, double, single, double. That's how they've done it. 3 of 6 tonight with runners in scoring position. Last couple of weeks, that number's more like 260, 265.
And it keeps the line moving. It keeps the pitcher in the stretch, Darren. Like I said, it gives him something else to think about besides that batter. And it leads to mistakes. And that's what's happened here with Zito.
Ground ball toward the hole. Can't make the play. An infield hit. The line moves up 90 feet apiece. Mark Reynolds, his first hit. Drew is at third. Reynolds at first. 1 out.
The line just continues to move. Ripped over to the left side. Nice play, really, by Renteria just to keep that ball in the infield and keep it a 1-run game. You're not going to be able to throw out Mark Reynolds, who runs very well. Now Chris Young, a big opportunity. Maybe the at-bat of the year for Chris Young as far as the way things have gone for him this year. Just hadn't been much fun. 09 hadn't been much fun for Chris Young.
We'll rewind back about an hour ago, sitting on the bench, slamming his hat in utter disappointment.
Absolutely. Had an error out in center field.
Out front of a changeup. Unable to get anything done.
So the struggles continue for Chris Young. Got a hanging changeup and just popped it straight up. Look at this pitch stay up in the zone. Goodness gracious. And he tried to pull it. Straight up the chute it goes. A lousy feeling.
Snyder took a long time to read the signs from Chip Hale before stepping in.
Well, with 2 outs, I can't imagine there being too much going on out there. Other than whatever the sign is for get you a good pitch and whack it.
What was the sign for that when you played?
There was really no sign. The third base coach just kind of yelled, get you a good pitch and whack it.
So a verbal sign.
It was verbal, yes. I was kind of timid about that. I didn't want the other team to know
what you were
what our signs were. I was always worried about the other team stealing signs. So I didn't really like my third base coach doing that.
100 pitches, so the coach would say, hey, get you a good pitch and whack it. And then the catcher would look out to the pitcher and say, hey, he's trying to get a good pitch and whack it here.
Right.
Now you'd been sold.
Everybody on the bench would say, hey, they're stealing our signs.
3-0 the count.
Miguel Montero stands on deck. That's the pitcher spot, the 8th spot. That's Esmeralda Vasquez's spot. So even with a left-hander, Barry Zito out there, that doesn't matter to Miguel Montero. Miguel Montero's had good success against left-handers.
Snyder draws the walk, leaves the bat at home plate. You were talking about the career successes for Miguel Montero against southpaws. Always wonder how he will hang in there. He's hung in there very nicely.
For Esmeralda Vasquez, number 26, Miguel Montero.
Well, his chance to be a hero here. You see against lefties, 300 in his career. Righties hadn't been much fun.
And again, the difference in home runs, just an abundance of at bats against right-handed pitchers. Not even comparable, but the batting average is what you look at there. Bases loaded.
Oh, very generous strike there. It looked like it was up and it was off the plate. But it's strike one to jump ahead from Barry Zito.
Not so bad either. Curveball is high. And only 60 at bats against lefties, 451 against righties. He's got a career on base percentage against lefties of .353.
He likes the ball out over and he likes it down.
High drive right field. Toward the corner it goes. Racing. Leaper. And he held on to that ball. Randy Wynn banging into the wall. Got under it, did Montero. Well, the Diamondbacks rally with some fight this inning. They score 3, but a fine play. He's not killing you with his bat. He's killing you with his glove. territory with a nice play. As we take a look out to our Ride Now Power Sports Pool Cam. Taking some head splash with the fountain out there. Giants Diamondbacks. Great partners with Ride Now Power Sports. Hello?
It's a nice looking bike out there, isn't it?
I'm still upset that I had to jump in the pool. On Roush. He doesn't have much to be upset about lately. He's done a nice job. Starting to piece this season back together.
He's slowly but surely getting that ERA down to respectability.
And his last 6 appearances, not a whole lot going on.
It's amazing what a little confidence can do for even a guy that's been around as long as John Roush. And this guy was a closer, has been a closer. And if he wasn't a closer, he was an 8th inning guy. Got a lot of big outs. But even those kind of pitchers can lose some confidence. And when you lose your confidence, Darren, if you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you? But he's slowly but surely starting to come around, and he's been telling us that.
Executing. It's not as if his velocity has jumped up that much. He's got a little bit back, really commanding the baseball better. In with his fastball when he needs to. We talk about how these Giants pitch in, he'll pitch in. And when he went through, I think it turned out to be painful because he had to go through it. But this spring, when his velocity was way down for him, I mean mid-80s, he started to try to reinvent himself. So probably gained more confidence in his breaking pitches because he had to throw him.
He had to throw him because his fastball was getting clobbered. But now his fastball is back up in the low 90s, even mid-90s sometimes. And he just threw a fastball into Fred Lewis and ate him up. Look at that thing of beauty right there. The breaking ball, the confident breaking ball you've been talking about, Darren.
In the leadoff spot has been Aaron Rowan of late. Comes in. Ouch. He spun that helmet. Got him there. Goodness gracious.
I think it got his shoulder and then maybe his helmet.
Well, we told you he's been pitching in this one.
Shortstop Edgar
No, it didn't get his helmet.
Nope, you're right. The helmet just spun when he turned. It got a bit of the home plate umpire in his shoulder. Good. We knew it was tough, but to maybe get hit in the head and just walk away. Here it is.
Yeah, it's all shoulder, thank goodness. And he does a good job of turning away from it. That's a good way not to get hit in the face. Turn away from the ball, not into it.
High fly center field. Young has a beat. 2 outs in the inning.
Right fielder Randy Wynn.
Three errors for the Diamondbacks. Both teams have 7 hits. Neither team you hope had committed an error. The Giants have not, as that's a strike. 5-4 the score.
That was a change up there from John Roush. Right at the kneecaps to jump ahead. Nicely done. Barry Zito done for the evening. But he leaves with the lead.
Yeah, the importance. As Zito comes out, they make that move. Team, meaning the Diamondbacks, fighting back in. Of Roush to get his team back in the dugout here. These are the innings we talk about. You're just like a setup man here for the team that's down. And that one has popped up.
Beat him with a fastball, jumps ahead 0-2.
He was part of that quartet in the 18-inning game on Sunday. That Clay Zavada, Roush, Rosales, who has since been sent down, and Esperling Vasquez, through 9 no-hit innings. We talked to all of them. We heard from all 4 of them on Monday. John said he'd be glad to do it as long as I don't have to talk about my innings. I just want to talk about my teammates, the younger, less experienced guys.
A very humble man, John Roush.
Well, and he made it clear I still have a lot of work to do. You know, I've had a tough start to the year. I'll talk about them. I was proud of them.
The one thing about John, and it started in spring training, and it's continued. He's been a stand-up guy. And he's been accountable for his actions this year. You respect that. You want it to get better for him because he has been accountable. And it has been getting a little better.
Runner on the move, and it's rolled foul, so Rowan will have to head back. Not what he wanted, certainly. Another tough day for Barry Zito. There's that curveball again. It misses outside. 2-2 the count. Zito's ERA jumps over 4 for the first time this year. 4.09. 2-2 in. 3-2 the count. Pitched himself into the situation where the runner will be going for sure.
You really want to take care of business here with Randy Wynn. You don't really want to mess with Benji Molina, who's on deck. He is such an RBI guy.
Topper, Roush off the hill. Funky spin, stays with it, continues to do his job. Another scoreless inning for the big right-hander. It's time to bring you up to speed with AT&T Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. All right, for the Diamondbacks. They put together a fine inning in the 5th inning to crawl back into this game. They trail at 5-4. John Roush did his job. Threw a 0 up on the board, gets his team back in the dugout. Now American Valdez takes over for the 18th time this year. ERA of just over 4.
Well, it's time to go to work now if you're the Diamondbacks. John Roush did a good job of keeping the momentum in your dugout. You go out and get a 3 spot the last inning. John Roush throws up a 0. Now you're right back at it. The hard throwing Valdez. 95, Darren. Goodness.
Can he turn it loose a bit?
I guess.
0-1 the count on par. Yeah, he can turn it loose a bit.
He's a big old boy, too.
That's a big old boy.
Oh, ain't nobody bigger than him.
Not in history. 6 feet 11 inches tall as that one sails away. 2-1 the count.
Which kind of makes you wonder the way things are going. You think John Roush might be going back out for the next inning. Nobody getting loose in the bullpen. That one sprayed foul. 95 miles an hour again.
Well, what do you think?
I think
Why
that shows me right there that John Roush is going back out.
He threw 14 pitches.
And I'm sure AJ asked him, all right, big fella, what do you think? Give me the ball. I'll go another for you. 97 miles an hour now from American Valdez.
Out of San Cristobal in the Dominican Republic. Began his career as a Brave in 1999. Look out, Chip Hale. He opts not to make the play on that one.
I'm going to have to get on him. Play's got to be made, doesn't it?
Really?
No, not at all. Get out of the way of those, Chip. Attaboy. I don't know. I'm going to have to let him know that Tim Flannery laid down the gauntlet for him. Third base coach for the Giants. Making plays. There's Flan. Boy, he was fun to play against.
87 bounced it in there. American goes by the nickname, not of Kung Fu Panda, but El Mago, which means the magician. When he was a young minor leaguer, they said he can throw the ball and it just misses bats. El Mago.
Well, let's see if he does here. El Mago! Yeah.
Wow, a late call of strike 3 by Titchener as he rings up par. A.J. Hinch saying that ball's up. Clearly that ball's up.
That didn't look like a strike. Todd Titchener still barking with A.J. Hinch a little bit. But that's strike 3 nonetheless. I guess when you're getting calls like this, you will be El Mago. Keep throwing it 6 inches outside, get strike 3, and you will be, you'll be better than the amazing Kreskin ever was. Man, we got Kung Fu Panda. We got El Mago. I like that. I like the nicknames for the Giants. These are big league.
Magic. Get a call on that pitch, it's magic.
Yeah. The magician. There's your guy, Doug Henning. Boy, he was something else in his day.
The 1-2. Breaking ball is in.
Yeah, I don't know if the governor could come up with any better nicknames than like Kung Fu Panda and El Mago.
And I actually think he'd sign off on both.
I think he would. Still not as good as Snipe Piece.
Well, as that one is outside. Kojak.
Yeah, that's probably his best. Interesting earlier from Mark McClune saying that Connor Jackson not out for the year. They're expecting him back. You just don't know with that. I'm not going to call it I guess is it a disease? I wouldn't know what to call it. A virus.
Bouncing ball flagged out there by Uribe. A magical play charging on that one.
But Rebe, that was.
I understand, but when you're
they
El
call
Mago, you have
El Mago?
assistants.
Yeah, you have umpires, you have third baseman.
That's exactly right.
Medellin Valdez. El Mago.
I mean, what is it, a magician? They say, and this is his lovely assistant, Todd Tichenor.
Ah, I like that.
Juan Uribe.
I like that. His lovely assistant. Not quite as easy on the eyes as most assistants.
That's exactly right. Neither one of them.
We're going to have to come up with some nicknames.
You ready to dip back into the nicknames? It's been a while.
Well, we might have to have some help from the fans. They like to get involved in the nicknames.
I mean, the man hitting, if anyone's worthy of a nickname, he's worthy of one. He's earned it.
You know, Todd Walsh is big involved in the nicknames. Ooh, El Mago not happy. He's used to getting those calls.
Two outs in the inning.
Are you kidding me? That pitch was a good 6 inches inside. Is this a strike, Darren?
Well, I don't think so. And I want every pitch to be a strike. Two and two, the count.
Strike!
Some of your favorite nicknames: El Mago, the magician, the Kung Fu Panda.
My all-time favorite was a fellow named Antonio Alfonseca.
Pitch is high, it's a walk.
Antonio Alfonseca had a condition. He had extra digits on his hands and his toes.
Sure,
he had
sure.
6 fingers on each hand, 6 toes on each foot. And Tony Oliva, because Alfonseca was from the Dominican Republic, nicknamed him Pulpo, the octopus. Oh man. That big old rascal comes swimming in from the bullpen. El Mago and Kung Fu Panda. Oh, Darren loves the Doug Henning show. Still got the reruns, I understand.
Yeah, so on some other channel, not called FS Arizona.
Well, you
I've
know
learned
what?
that I don't mention any other.
You know what? Let's see if Justin Upton can foil a trick by El Mago. Maybe catch him with something up his sleeve.
The 1-0. And of course, I meant to say Fox Sports Arizona very clearly, not FS Arizona. I apologize. 2-0 the count.
I was right there with you, D.
That's the scary thing about both of us, my friend.
I had your back.
Right out on the plank, we both go together. 2-0 the count. 1-run game, trying to get it done here with 2 outs.
Ooh, a big rip and a miss at a 98-mile-an-hour fastball from El Mago. Well, how are you going to miss that? It's magic. Well, Justin didn't get cheated. He swung it with bad intentions. He's just going to have to be a little bit quicker to catch up with 98 from this big guy. Oh, another one, 97, right by Justin again. El Mago's starting to feel it now. He's going to take a deep breath, walk around the mound a little bit, prepare. He's going to reach down into that black magic hat. Is it going to be a rabbit? Or is it going to be foiled?
The 2-2. Just got a piece of 99 miles an hour.
Remember, sometimes Bullwinkle would Try to pull a rabbit out of his hat, and he'd get like a rhinoceros or something. That's what Justin Upton's trying to do here.
Deuce is wild. 2s across the board. See if it's good luck for Arizona. The fireballer rocks and fires right down the middle.
And Justin just got frozen by a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. El Mago!
His last 5 outings, John Roush, of 2 or more innings earlier this year, May the 29th against Atlanta, he logged 2 innings when his team needed him. And then prior to that, you have to go back to 3 times he did it in 07. And has done it already, laid it out this year. 1 time against Benji Molina, he rocks and fires, and he does so with strike 1. Brother Jose plays for the Yankees as a catcher. Yadier plays for St. Louis as a catcher. Broke his bat. Stephen Wu gobbles it up on over to Mark Reynolds. That bat died a very unhappy death.
Just a good pitch there by John Roush. A slider down and away and just destroyed the bat.
Isn't it amazing how those maple bats, sorry Gracie, how those maple bats on pitches away even will shatter like that with a jagged end, almost like a weapon flying out there.
Scary. Love Benji Molina, but hate his bats. There's a good commercial for Ash bats. Whoa. He hit one 500 feet last night. So now he's looking to think of dropping down a bunt. That makes me like him even more, Darren Sutton, using all his weapons.
I'm going to see what weapon he's using. If it's maple or ash, it's hard to tell. Speaking of weapons. Boy, good pitch. Didn't get the call. 1-1 the count. Either way, good pitch.
That looks like maple.
You see the grains more on an ash, correct?
Mm-hmm. Good change up there. Who's out in front was Sandoval. He's all over the batter's box. He's all over both batters' boxes. Busy hitter. Slider down and in.
2-2 the count.
Always tapping on the cleats. Yep, I'm a fan. Gas.
93 miles an hour.
Man. Back to the dugout will go Kung Fu Panda. Courtesy of Big John Roush, just ran back and throwing a fastball by him.
So Roush goes back to work.
More gas right down the middle to jump ahead.
92 miles an hour. .93, and he just missed. Well, I got you covered, boys. I'll prop you up on the air when they interview me, and I'll grab another inning for you.
He's earning a lot of respect right now. Let's see if he can get that third out.
Now that's a slider. Harder than the curveball, correct?
Yes.
Two and one with 2 outs.
Good slider right back with it, Darren Sutton. Get stubborn with it like Dan Herron.
The 2-2. Boy, what a job by John Roush. I got it before it bounced, says Chris Snyder.
Foul ball.
Now foul ball is the call.
And that was the right call there by Todd Tichenor. That was absolutely the right call.
He's out again.
Look at John Roush. Do it, son. 2 shutout innings.
That's how you pick up your team and your bullpen.
Live. This is our sort of our tease segment. So, Greg, what do you have to tease tonight?
Well, I have this ball.
Yeah.
I have this grip. I have Mr. Randy Johnson, who we just honored tonight for his 300th win, and we have something we call Mr. Snappy. We're going to go over that later.
We're going to explain that. A little demonstration up here. Looking forward to that, guys. We'll send it back to you. We are here as soon as the game is done. We'll talk to you then.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm interested. I'll be staying tuned. Good stuff. That is truly a tease segment. Curious what that will be all about. Hopefully talking about a win if you're a Diamondbacks fan. You know who else was snappy? That man. What a fine job he did tonight. been an uphill battle this season. He's starting to win that battle regularly.
Great job tonight by Big John Rouse, keeping his team in striking distance. That bullpen, 2 much needed shutout innings. No more El Mago.
Nope.
Who we got here, Darren Sutton?
Sergio Romo.
You see the right-hander. New to the big leagues.
An opportunity for Stephen Drew
to continue a great night.
He singled, he doubled.
Driven in 3 of the 4 Diamondback runs.
And both hits the other way. Hard. That one high, right field. Hugging the line toward the pole. Foul ball.
Well, he just got under it and just got out in front of it. I think it may have had close to home run distance, but it was about 15 feet foul. That's a hanging breaking ball, boy, and Stephen Drew just misses it.
Lifted into the seats.
Right there, that was just a good job of spoiling a good pitch there, Dan Sutton.
I think that's the thing that people certainly are learning and understanding when they watch you assess a game. Just spoiling a good pitch is all part of a hitting streak. It's part of being hot. You're not going to drive every single pitch. Pitch right on the corner, right on the black. "14-game hitting streak for Drew. 21 hits during that time. In. And the count is 2-2. 21 hits and 7 doubles. And that man seeing his shortstop play with a lot more confidence. And healthy wheels too, I think.
Yeah, you got to have your wheels underneath you, Darren. And Stephen finally starting to feel close to 100%. And it's starting to show.
High drive left field. Going back. My goodness. Torres is there to make the play. Driving it to left.
Just this ball being out of the strike zone of shade, just off the plate and up, is what keeps it in the ballpark. Just enough off the end of the bat to keep it in the ballpark. But another good swing there from Stephen Drew.
Romo side-wheeling, drops it away. 2 years at Arizona Western Junior College is where he played. 24-4 there. Bouncing ball, playing it back. Fortunate to make that play when he played it that way is Uribe.
What a really nice play.
Great hands to be able to do it. Let's take a step out of town. FreeCreditReport.com to get your free credit report and score. Go to FreeCreditReport.com. Know your school. Taking a look at our out-of-town scoreboard. The Astros, they beat the Cubs. One of the keys there, Astros coming to town, and Miguel Tejada hitting .351 this year.
Man.
Rockies,
break up the Rockies.
Too much for the Brewers. They continue to play good baseball. You're right. As that one is away. 7 in a row for Colorado. Wins.
Really? Huh? Diamondbacks one big streak away from looking up at the rest of the division.
The 1-1.
Couple of fastballs right to the outside corner. Chris Young looks at both of them.
Did he offer it that breaking ball? He did not.
Friend of the show, Jerry Lane, over at first base, saying no, he did not.
Jerry gave you a little salute up to the booth, my friend.
He's my buddy. We've been at it a long time now.
The 2-2.
Oh, dear.
Romo gets it done as he sits these Diamondbacks down. 1-2, and then 3. Benji Molina told us before the game, I've been pulling everything. Need to use the whole field. Well, I'll say that's using the whole field. A big home run for Molina early in the ball game. And then more offense. Continued to unravel a ball that was ruled in air. Chris Young went an awful long ways. Couldn't really square up properly, but then the Diamondbacks began their comeback. Down handily 5-1. Comeback on, and Arizona racing back to within a 5-4 deficit as we welcome you back to Chase Field. 5-4 is the score. Tony Pena takes the assignment.
Well, his job is to pick up right where Big John Roush left off. That is, keep this at a one-run game. Desperately get your offense back in the dugout, back to the bat rack, and getting after it. And eventually hope for a giant reliever to make a mistake.
Stephen Drew recovers from his knees. He got it.
I say his legs are underneath him now.
Yeah. I mean, he started maybe a half step behind Gracie, made right up for
This
it.
ball was smashed in between hop from his knees. Got a lot on the throw and got Franzen by a good 3 steps. Franzen runs well. I mean, look at how there's hardly any arc on that throw. Yeah, Tony Pena, thank you very
You
much.
bet, Tony.
Doggone right.
Bouncing ball. Gobbled up. TP got him popping up. 2 outs. Don't forget to join us tomorrow. Jonathan Sanchez against Max Scherzer. Max trying to keep that pitch count manageable. See if he can put together a solid start. Miller Lite, what's growing?
Looks like Max was singing to himself, maybe.
A little beat in his head, doesn't
A
he?
little ditty in his head, something like that. What kind of music do you think Max likes? Think he's a country and western guy, or more
No.
rock and roll, or maybe jazz?
No.
Maybe a hip hop guy.
Maybe. I can't speak to that. I don't I don't picture Jazz, though you never know.
Well, with the different color eyes, maybe a Marilyn Manson.
The 0-2. How about Tony Pena?
It's pretty impressive.
1, 2, 3. Roush and Pena really cleaning things up. Oh, Tony. Southwest Airlines, they're ready to go when you are. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It is on and by Blimpie, America's sub shop. Here's Chris Snyder.
Romo for his second inning of work. He jumps right ahead of Chris Snyder with a fastball to the outside corner.
Romo born in Brawley, California, about 15 minutes from Mexicali, Mexico.
I was going to say that's right on the way to San Diego on the 8. Giant fans still crowing for the time being. They had a lot to crow about here last night.
Oh, they did. That slider dives away.
See if Chris Snyder can be a good leadoff man right here. By hook or by crook, you got to find a way to get on base. You only got 6 outs left.
Fly. It's Aaron Rowan. Let's take a look at our Nova home loans in-game box score. We spoke of Stephen Drew at Futures Field in our open, and he is not disappointed. He's not alone, but Stephen has had a great night.
Bruce Bochy's on his way out to the mound. Romo has done way too well. He's going to have to leave the ball game.
Switch hitter Augie Ojeda was announced.
He faced 4 hitters. He retired every one of them. And job well done by the youngsters.
Bochy makes his relief pitcher smile as he trots away. Jeremy Affeld. Must be a day ending in Y. to see. Back at the ballpark, 5-4 the score. Don't forget this Sunday. Every Kid's Sunday is a special one to attend. The first 5,000 kids at the ball game receive the Baxter soap dispenser. How about that right there? Get your soap from Baxter right there coming at you. Stick around and run the bases after the game. 602-514-8400. The Baxter soap dispenser. Thank you, guys. Augie Ojeda called upon to pinch hit. This year, 3 for 22 against left-handed pitching. 136, hitting 261 against righties. That's why Bochy made the move.
I was just about to say that. Jeremy Affeld, he has been very busy this year, and he has been very good as well, but he falls behind 2-0.
I tell you, the Augie
Oi, oi, oi.
has started to really take over the ballpark. You hear more and more. Not interested in that pitch anyway. 2-1. What do you do with that?
Take it. Strike one and go to banging next pitch.
Three and one. Well, poor Tony. He had a good outing.
Tony's taking a beating there by that youngster. Well, let's see if Augie Ojeda can get something to his liking. Maybe yank it down the line for a double. Turn that lineup over. Well, got a pitch to his liking, but he fouled it back. Boy, poor Tony. Did he ever think he would become a fly swatter? Boy, the chants continue.
Popped up. See if this one can get out of play. It does. It lands in the dugout of the Giants. Hey, don't forget, browse from the largest selection of team gear, hats, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles. Get it straight from the source. Visit dbacks.com/shop. Hey, nice job.
Now. He's not whacking Tony Pena around anymore. Yeah, get him something to clap about here, Augie Ojeda.
Pop to the right side. Randy Wynn is there, and he puts it away. So Ojeda is erased. Good folks with Quest partnering up with Tony Pena there. But Tony just
continues to take his beating.
Parra now.
Oh, it's a heck of a breaking ball there, isn't it? That'll buckle the best of left-handed hitters. That would have buckled Ted Williams, I think, Darren. Fastball right behind it, knee-high, inside corner, and over the top of it goes Parra. That's two absolutely unhittable pitches right there, Darren.
He hasn't given up a run in his last 14 appearances. Opponents hitting 190 against him, and that was easy enough for Affeld. 1-2-3, go the Diamondbacks. doing more on defense, more being done tonight. Randy Wynn, bases loaded. The at-bat ended, and Stephen Drew. Occasionally like to say when a throw is made like that, go about 140 feet away from something in your yard or at a nearby park, turn your back to the target, get on your knees and try and make that throw.
That's pretty good.
It reminds you to appreciate
what he did.
Absolutely.
Because there's only a scant few who can do it. Chad Quall is going to take over here. Our Verizon wireless call to the bullpen. Chad trying to erase a bad memory his last outing. Giving up a game-tying 2-out, 3-run home run to David Eckstein of the Padres. But all is well that ends well after 18 innings, Darren Sutton.
Yeah, you bet. His teammates picked him up. His bullpen mates picked him up more than anybody. Mark Reynolds finally homered in the 18th. 2-0 the count.
Mark Reynolds having a snack.
Want some seeds over there. How about that? Owen thinking, he didn't like it. Not a whole lot to do with that pitch anyway. The 2-1. Belted right field. Justin Upton racing over. He is there.
Shortstop Edgar Renteria.
And there is one out. Renteria sack fly, a couple of singles, a run scored. He also flied to center field. Oh, 0-1 the count. Fires it right down the heart of the plate. For the Diamondbacks, if Qualls can throw up a 0, they will be within a run. And they will send to the top of the order Lopez, Robertson, Upton up. And I would imagine warming in the bullpen is closer Brian Wilson. We will be able to experience a rematch of that man against Brian Wilson, Justin Upton. Got Sam looking forward to it. The 1-1.
Well, you look forward to it and you hope there's a fella or two on base when it does happen.
Something tells me he's looking forward to it as well.
There is no back down in Mr. Wilson, the closer for the Giants. But Chad Quall is going to have to keep it at a 1-run game. Diamondback bullpen has just been brilliant, keeping it a 1-run ball game. Chad Qualls, 2 innings, scoreless, only 1 hit. A 1-2-3 inning from Tony Pena last inning. Prior to that, it was Esmerling Valdez.
3-2 the count. Of course, as you mentioned, Tony did a great job. I'm a fan.
Takes me a while to get it, but it was good, Dan.
And so is Tony.
He is.
The 3-2. Fly ball into left center field. That's Chris Young. That is the second out of the inning. 2 away here in the top of the ninth. And Renteria with a 2 for 4 to end his evening in all likelihood as we play on. So now Randy Wynn with Benji Molina waiting on deck. Oh, they must be having fun in the nation's capital.
Why is that?
That's a strike right down the heart. Well, Cincinnati was leading 2-0 heading into the bottom of the ninth at Washington. Now a little bit of rain came to the tune of a 2-hour rain delay. Then they cranked back up the bottom of the ninth. Coco Cordero gave up 2.
So they're still playing. Chris Young has got a fan, and we're going to take a break while a fan is maybe not so politely escorted off the field. Nice job by the security here at the stadium. Taking care of that business quickly. Justin getting a good laugh out of it. I don't think Chris is in the mood for that right now.
I don't blame him. One and one the count.
Justin's still getting a kick out of it.
Fly ball left field, racing back as Parra still going. Nearly got out of here. Young backing it up, fires it back in. Well, it wouldn't be a night at Chase Field with the Giants visiting without Randy Wynn picking up a hit. There's his first.
Oh, and also, Darren, it would be crazy not to point out, as that ball is just tattooed into left field, the very top of the wall. But 3 balls in the air off Chad Qualls. One almost left the ballpark. One was hit to deep right center that Justin Upton ran down. Another fly ball to center earlier off the bat of Edgar Renteria. And that tells you right there that Chad Qualls is not quite right yet. If he's giving up balls in the air, if he's up in the strike zone, that means he's just not quite right. And it makes me wonder if he's just not, if the forearm may or may not be bothering him, or if he's just maybe rusty from the time off he's had. So there's another pitch up in the zone.
We talked about it last year, Gracie, when he would go through his times where he would hit the wall. He would actually add a little bit of velocity. A mile an hour or two, the pitches would straighten out a little bit more and they'd be up.
And that's when that's
exactly right.
Frame of time that Chad got hit hard. The rest of the year, he was brilliant.
Oh, had an incredible finish to the season. Overall, having a good year this year. But you're right. Slider. That one will die and drive in a run. Pitch out over the plate that Molina could handle.
Well, that hurt.
Huge run.
That really hurt there. Yeah, that's that slider that usually Chad Qualls, when he's right, he buries it down and away. Instead, it stays up. And a good hitter like Molina, if you stay up with the slider, yeah, that thing was thigh high. And it just didn't have that good snap, that good tilt on it that Chad Qualls has when he's right. Well, that was big. That one hurt.
And it all starts with the D-backs killer, Randy Wynn. Bolt. Sandoval. He goes to hit. That went right by Upton to the wall. They will stop Molina. Runners on second and third.
Poor Benji just can't score on those, can he?
Benji's strengths are his bat, his head, and his catching abilities. Not the most fleet of foot.
This ball is just killed. My goodness, that ball is just absolutely killed. Kung Fu Panda. He doesn't make many outs in Chase Field. Mel Stottlemyre going out there to make sure that Chad Qualls is okay. Last 3 balls, the ball been hit very, very hard.
Sandoval giving Benji the business. Come on now, man. You're my teammate, younger player than I. You know my wheels. Leave me be. I'll catch every day for you.
Yeah. from first base, Benji can score on homers.
I'll catch a day game after night game, though.
Well, we'll see him tomorrow.
Oh, you bet. He already said so this afternoon. He didn't enjoy having yesterday off. Just trying to get him right offensively. I think it helped.
Yeah, 3 RBIs tonight. See if Chad can get it down in the zone. That's better there, Chad Qualls.
Little numbers to back up what you're talking about just this year, Gracie. 47 ground ball outs, 9 fly ball outs coming in.
Yeah, that's what. And you notice if Chad Qualls is giving up line drives and fly balls, you just wonder if he's right that night. And tonight, unfortunately, he hadn't been right. There's another one up.
Well struck to left field, but the play is made by Park. The Diamondbacks, they need a pair. They need a base runner. Get one on in front of Justin Upton.
Now this ball is down and in. Bang! You can see he missed his spot, though, by a good 1.5 feet. So Chad Qualls actually kind of fortunate, the Diamondbacks, that they're not down 3 runs. Only Benji Molina on first ahead of that ringing double by Pablo Sandoval. Keeps it a 2-run game, and Brian Wilson on to try to close it out.
Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen. He pours it in there. Remember, earlier this season, Wilson with an outing. On April 26th, the Diamondbacks come from behind win. They won it 5-4.
Nice pitch there.
It's 0-2 the count. The Diamondbacks trailed 4-1 in that game going into the bottom of the 9th inning. They played it 3. Went on to win that game over Wilson and the Giants 5-4 in 12 innings. But you better be on your game.
Oh, yeah.
He's got electric stuff.
He is terrific. He's got an ERA in the mid-3s right now, but that will be down, well, probably around 2 by season end. It always is. He's been an all-star.
Oh, and 2 the count to Lopez.
Jazz.
One defensive change this inning for San Francisco. On the mound, number 38, Brian Wilson. Now batting third baseman Ryan Roberts.
And now Ryan Roberts. Walked, struck out, doubled, and walked again. He's been on 3 times.
He's right in the middle of that 3-run 5th inning with an RBI double. I'm sorry, it wasn't an RBI double, but he came around to score. And Stephen Drew's double.
This is his 13th start of the season. He has 18 hits in his 13 starts. He's never shy about attacking the baseball. Not at all.
Not a home run hitter, but he doesn't get cheated.
Balls looks on and hopes his mates can pick him up.
Boy, this guy is flat out pitching.
Well, Justin Upton hit a 2-run home run earlier this year, and we told you about it against Wilson. This tied the game. Unfortunately, the bases are empty, so he just needs to find his way on.
Drop a bunt if you have to. Try to get Stephen Drew.
Yeah, he's got a hot hitter on deck, huh?
Boy, and then some. Just extend the game. This was my pet peeve, Darren. Boy, that one got a big chunk of top tissue behind the plate. Knocked his mask right off of him. He's just fine, though. He's tough. I hated making the last out of the game. That was my pet peeve in all of baseball. Hated it. I didn't like being the guy that started the conga line of handshakes at the end of the game. You got every ounce of me in this situation.
The 1-1. Slider. He has been bringing it. That time backed off a little bit. Justin out front. San Francisco looking to improve to 31-27 on the season. With LA losing to San Diego, should that hold to form, move to 7.5 out of first place in the West. The 1-2. Bounced 95 in there. Tough to block. The Diamondbacks trying to avoid dropping to 12-21 here in their home ballpark. Two-two. Got him, and they do just that. Arizona loses to San Francisco by a score of 6-4. Benji Molina certainly breaks out of it. Pablo Sandoval hurts the Diamondbacks again. Arizona now 25-35 and 12-21 here at Chase Field. San Francisco 31-27 on the year. They're playing very good.